Hello, guys, and welcome to Tezos, Who's Number One, presented by Fat Tire. I'm Kendall Roosing. We are going to be running your press conference today, and I'm super excited to get into the show, get to know the athletes a little bit more. So without further ado, we are going to jump in to our very first match. Now, this match here is at 185. We have Davis Asari, Asari, I got it wrong before too. Asari and Nick Heflin here on my left. Davis is fighting out of New Wave, Nick fighting out of Lovato JJ. And for both of these guys, this is their first match here on Who's Number One. So Davis, talk to me a little bit about what went through your mind when you were given the opportunity to fight here today.
Obviously, I got pretty stoked because this is most likely one of the biggest stages to compete in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So when I got the opportunity to compete, I was pretty excited, yeah. So
nice. And, we've seen a little bit of your action lately at the ADCC Opens. We've been seeing you on the mats more. But also notably, Gordon Ryan told us that you submitted him unconscious in training. So is that true? I mean, what's your training been like leading up to this match?
That did happen, but for sure that's been my whole brand has been built around that one thing. So hopefully I'll be able to try to reach out of that hype and then try to build my brand around my skills and my accolades. So that's the plan right now, to try to grow away from Gordon. That's my plan.
So a little bit of rebranding tomorrow then.
Exactly.
Yeah? Okay. And what can we expect in the rebrand? What does your style look like?
So my style, I'm pretty well-rounded, I like to think. I can play guard, play top. So honestly, I'm just trying to go for the sub. I'll just go straight onto him and then do whatever I can to get the finish.
Awesome, awesome. So moving over to Nick. So Nick, also your first time on Who's Number One. Yep. You are here representing Lovato BJJ, so this is your hometown here in Oklahoma City. Yep. But you're definitely not new to the mats because you're also Lovato's wrestling coach. Mm-hmm. So talk to us a little bit about how you feel fighting on this card in your hometown and also with Lovato as the main event.
Yeah, super honored. It's going to be awesome. We struck up a great friendship and relationship where I've gotten to learn so much from him and have the privilege of entering this world and getting to compete with a lot of these monsters. So very excited and obviously very grateful for our relationship and how we've grown together. It's been awesome. Well,
and so speaking of monsters, what's the name of your BJJ Fanatics again?
Hit 'em with the earth.
Hit 'em with the earth, yeah. Right? Is that what we can expect to see tomorrow?
Hopefully.
Yeah. So for those of you guys who do not know Nick, if you are not familiar with his style, you've got to look up some of his matches. I've heard he has some highlight wins. He has some great matches with Bo Nickel. So it's going to be a really, really exciting match tomorrow. I can't wait to watch you guys. And thank you so much for your words leading up to the match. And we'll be back in a second for our next match. So we're back with our second prelim match of the evening, and as a reminder, guys, tomorrow the prelims, the first two matches of this card are actually going to be free on YouTube and Facebook, so make sure you guys check that out before the main card starts on FloGrappling.com. So our next match here is Austin Arande here on my right, fighting out of Arande Bros JJ, and Troy Russell also fighting out of Lovato JJ. So two new first timers to the Who's Number One card, a local, and our Texan over here who has let me know tonight that he's very much branded. He's going to show us a little bit of his branding here. We've got the Texas and also the Arande Bros Jiu-Jitsu. So tell us a little bit about what's up with the tattoos? When did you get those?
I got them this year, actually, in January. But I was always raised to be proud of where you come from. I'm very proud to be a Texas boy, born and raised. I'm very proud of my jiu-jitsu team that I've grown since I was 17 years old. So,
all right, we love it. We love it. So, Troy, tell me a little bit about your guys' history. You have fought 3 times, right? But gi and no gi. So walk me through that a little bit.
So the first time that Austin and I fought was the Dallas Open. It was actually the first event where heel hooks were legal in IBJJF. And I was able to get the first heel hook in IBJJF history in that match.
You have the first heel hook of IBJJF history.
I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Austin. So the first one ever. You've probably had many since then. All right.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he's gotten me back. We fought again, no-gi in the absolute division of Oklahoma City Open. I won that no-gi match, I think by counter leg lock again. And then he beat me in the gi, I think it was the day before. Yep. By ankle lock. So every match is a submission. It's always super exciting. I actually really love his style. I'm a huge fan of Austin, so I'm always honored to share the mat with him.
Awesome. So this will be your first time, though, submission only, right? Because you guys have fought twice IBJJF?
That's
okay.
Right.
3 times IBJJF. So, Austin, tell me what we can expect tomorrow. What are you looking to show?
The improvement in the leg locks, right? We fought, at brown belt right when they were first introduced, and I was really trying to put a heavy emphasis on my leg lock game, but I had no idea what I was doing. So I was going out there, I was trying my hardest to leg lock a guy that was way more experienced than me, and he has great top pressure. But I feel like I've developed so much more in it's been a year and a half since the last time we fought, that I'm not just a guy that, not only do I know the leg locks now, I know the defense, but I don't just rely on them anymore, right? At my black belt, I feel like I've shown that I'm more than just a leg locker. I can pass the guard, I can sweep my opponent, right? I'm not just that one-sided guy that's only gonna leg lock or bust.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Not just leg lock or bust this time. Perfect. And tell me a little bit about being here in Oklahoma. You guys have 3 of the Lovato Jiu-Jitsu athletes on the card, including, of course, your leader, Lovato, leading the way in the co-main event. So you guys are gonna have a pretty stacked crowd here tonight or tomorrow night, right?
Oh yeah, like all my friends and family will be there. It's gonna be super loud. They're gonna go wild. It's going to be an exciting night for Oklahoma, for sure.
Awesome. It's definitely going to be an exciting night for Oklahoma. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back for the next match shortly. We are back now with our first match of the main card, and we have William Tacken here to my right, Francisco Lowe here on my left, and this is going to be a match at 185. William fighting out of Brazilian Fight Factory, Francisco Lowe fighting out of Grit Factory, and Cicero Costa. Grit Factory. And where is that? That's a cool name. Yeah? I like it. I like it. So we're really excited for this match here tomorrow, guys. And Francisco, I want to hear about your experience of only being in the States for, you said 7 months, right? Yeah. So in the last 7 months, you've made quite a big jump in your career. So you want to just grab that and tell me a little bit about your career since you've been here.
Well, I work for this for my whole life, like I train since I kids, so every competition I feel like I'm not feeling nervous, I just need to do what I need to train, So
you never feel nervous?
Yeah, I never feel nervous.
Just excited?
Yeah, sometimes, I feel different. So tomorrow I have one tough guy for in my front. So, but I'm ready. I did the compo training no gi, because like my goal is world, but you know I get this opportunity with the tough guy, and I'm ready for him.
Awesome. And Taggett, we haven't seen you as much lately. We obviously you had a great performance. We saw you at ADCC. You had a great last year, and then earlier this year you fought in Japan. Is that right?
Yeah, I was out there in Tokyo. Got a match at 185 against Kenta,
Nice.
and back again after the ADCC. So
Nice. Okay, so one match since ADCC, and now we're here. And you've never fought Francisco Lowe, right?
no, we haven't crossed paths yet. He's new to the U.S., so this is our first time competing. He's fought a lot of IBJJF, but I think this is his first Nogi super fight. So.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about how you're feeling for tomorrow. Like, you guys have never fought before. It's a newer competitor. We haven't seen as much of his Nogi game. So it's not like your typical bracket where I feel like a lot of times we see you go into brackets where we've seen you have repeat matches before and consistent competitors. So with it being different tomorrow, how are you feeling going into the fight?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling fast. I know I can go for all 15 minutes at a high pace, and I'm just going to be really pushing the pace and using my experience to get the advantage in this one.
Nice. All right. Well, we're really excited to see you guys fight tomorrow. First match on the main card there at 7 o'clock Central, and we'll be back shortly with our next match. All right, guys, we are back here with our second match on the main card. This match is at 155, and to my right we have Dante Leon. To my left we have Ruan Alvarenga. So what I really want to touch on first before we get into too much else is, Dante, I don't know if I've ever seen you at 155. So why are you down at this weight class? How are you feeling for tomorrow? How was the cut?
I've actually never been at 155 my entire life. As far as competing, I've always been IBJJF lightweight was the lightest I ever went. So last year was the first time I did it. So day of, you're around 160 pounds. So I figured it'd be pretty easy to come down an extra 5 pounds, especially if I have like 32 or 34 hours between weighing in and competing. I figured it'd be pretty simple. My nutrition's on point at this point, and you know, training regimen, everything like that, everything kind of coincides really well. So figured it'd be pretty easy. It would be a little bit of a challenge, but it wouldn't be anything too difficult or too drastic of a weight drop that it would really like deplete me. So so far I feel good. I've got a lot of water in me, a lot of fluids. I haven't had too much to eat outside of just snacking. So I think by the time tomorrow I'll put the weight back on and I'll feel good.
You think you're going to be back up like normal by tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be like 175 tomorrow.
I love it. I love it. And, you know, your style, we have seen you so many times on Who's Number One and other events. You really seem to manhandle people a lot of the time, right? You're like very strong, powerful competitor. So how do you feel like, because you're going to put the weight back on by tomorrow, do you think it's going to change your game at all? Are we going to see a different Dante than normal? Or are we going to see kind of your same style?
So I think there's issues that come or kind of like problems that are presented with people of different classes, you know, and that at the no-gi worlds, it took me some time to adjust to the smaller guys. You know, they're a little tougher. They're a little harder to get in the front headlocks. They're a little harder to hold in certain positions, you know. And then in other positions, they lack the kind of same explosivity and size strength of the guys at middleweight, you know. So at 170, there's some legit big people, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Jay's really big, Micah's big, you know, Cade's really tall. Like, they're frame-wise, they're bigger than I am. You know what I mean? I'm not small at 170, but my frame, I knew I could go down to 155. I just needed everything to kind of be right. As far as like what's going to happen tomorrow, it's 15 minutes, and he's comfortable at this weight class, and this is new for me, so it's going to take a little bit of adjusting. We'll see what happens. You know, if he's comes out and his cardio is great and he's ready to go 15 hard minutes, then me throwing him around really isn't going to do too much. But if we can wear him down and get him tired, then we can start to use the physicality. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome. I'm excited about it. So, Ruwan, you are new to Who's Number One, but you are a two-time ADCC veteran, right? So how do you feel your style for ADCC translates into submission only for tomorrow?
So I think my game is perfect for these rules because I fight forward. You know, I know like walk back, and I look for submission the whole time. You know, so I think the rules is perfect for me. You know, and yeah, that's it. Tomorrow, I hope I can put a big show for the public, and you know, and yeah, I'm ready.
And we haven't, because the fans haven't seen you too much in this rule set. We know that Dante is a well-rounded player, but is great at takedowns. He plays from the top a lot. What do you think your style is going to look like tomorrow? Do you want to talk about your game plan, or is it a secret for now?
So I don't have a plan, you know. I train for everything, for every games. So I'm feeling good on top, on bottom, you know. I can. So I know Dante is very strong guy, you know, he's heavy. You know,
Maybe not as much as normal.
yeah. But I train with big guys, you know. So I think he's strong. He have a more experience, but I think I'm more fast, more quick, and yeah, I think this is I believe in this game. You know, I'm quick, I'm fast, and I believe I can win.
Awesome. I'm super excited to see this one tomorrow, guys. New weight class, new matchup we haven't seen before, new addition to Who's Number One, so make sure you guys don't miss it. All right, guys, we are back with one of the most highly anticipated matches on tomorrow night's card. So to my right, we have Izaak Michell. To my left, we have Jacob Couch. This is an incredible matchup that we haven't seen before. So I'm really excited to hear first from you, Izaak, about how you're feeling about being back on Who's Number One. Izaak is a Who's Next winner, and then had that crazy match with Kyle where you were like, it was no time limit. You're on one mat. We had to move you to a whole other part of the building. You finished up, and then we haven't seen you since then. So tell us a little bit about what we can expect tomorrow and where you've been.
Yeah, I mean, after ADCC, I took some time off. I had some injuries I had to deal with. I was in Brazil for about a month. I was training with Mickey Gabal and some of those guys, which was really cool. And then, yeah, as soon as I could get healthy again, then I took the opportunity to take this match. And yeah, it's a really exciting match. I think, you know, the fans are excited for this one.
Yeah, I think so too. And really what the talk about this match has been stylistic. So I wanted to ask you, Jacob, like with you're obviously a very well-rounded competitor, but we see you a lot in the legs and we see Izaak in the same. So talk a little bit about your expectations for tomorrow, what we can look for stylistically as far as the matchup goes.
Well, I think, you know, the fans are excited obviously because me and Izaak come out there and look to finish the entire time. So I can't give you no prediction or no guarantee or nothing. I just know that me and Izaak both are going to be going for the finish for the entire 15 minutes.
Nice. And when you're thinking about, so I know we're going to see a high-paced match, But I wanted to mention that a lot of the time you've come into Who's Number One as a replacement, or you've fulfilled last-minute opportunities, and that's really been a big way that the crowd and the fans have gotten to know you in your career, and it's been amazing to watch. So now, as you're starting to move up in the rankings, potentially we could even see you on the other side of things, maybe looking for a title. Or what do you see for yourself as far as like the next couple Who's Number Ones, or is there anyone you have your eye on?
No, not really. I mean, I think anybody that gets into this kind of thing and wants to do it seriously and wants to like commit their life to it, they want to be the champion. So whoever's got the belt, wherever the belt is where I want to go.
And Izaak, I wanted to ask you about the same, right? So I know we talked a little bit about your match. We talked a little bit earlier about potential matchups for you, and maybe you have had some conversations about matches that would look good in the future to you. And we have some amazing competitors on the rest of the card tonight. So what are you thinking as far as that?
Yeah, I mean, like anyone in the top 5 guys, some guys aren't competing on Who's Number One right now. So I know like that 185 belt might be vacant, and I want Pedro to cut down back to 185 after he competes at pretty heavy for his weight division.
I'm
right
assuming
now.
no gi, right? You're not looking for the next gi Who's Number One match?
Yeah, not gi right now. I'll keep to no gi for a
Yeah.
while. Maybe one day, but yeah, you never know. Anyone really, but that would be cool to get that match. I think in ADCC, if I did get the referee decision against Wagner, I would have gone against Pedro in the next round. So I was anticipating that a little bit. But yeah, whatever happens, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up ADCC, because you had it was the fight of the tournament, right?
Yeah,
against
yep.
Wagner, and it was a decision loss, is that right?
Yeah, that was decision loss.
Yeah, so fight of the match, or fight of the event, and then obviously, Jacob, ADCC is a big thing on your list of what we're looking for in the next year. We have trials at the end of the year. So talk to us a little bit about the rest of the year and what you're looking forward to as far as trials and ADCC and all that after Who's Number One.
Well, obviously I want to earn my ticket by winning the trials, but my goal obviously is to be the champion of the ADCC. That's what I want. I want that title. I think just like with the Who's Number One belt, anybody who does this, and I think that takes it seriously and does it, chooses to invest their life into it, wants to become the champion. So to win the ADCC next year is the goal.
Awesome. So 2 guys who want to win ADCC, but they've got to face each other first. So we got a lot in store for both of these guys. But first, tomorrow, we are going to have a banger of a match. I'm super excited for this one. Make sure you guys tune in for it. And thank you guys so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, guys, this is our first and only female match of the card tomorrow, and I'm so stoked. These are 2 competitors I personally have been wanting to watch and see on Who's Number One. We have Alex Enriquez here to my right, who has been making an incredibly consistent uphill stride in the last few years. We've been watching her career absolutely explode, so really, really stoked to see her. And then to my left, of course, is Amanda Alakeen, otherwise known as Tubby. Tubby, you got to show us the bling. Give us a little, always looking good and ready to go. So these 2 ladies, you guys actually have one previous match at the Nogi Worlds, and it was an advantage win for Alex. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So what do we think about a submission-only match between you guys? And it wasn't that long ago. So what are you thinking about that, Alex?
I'm very excited for this opportunity. We kind of have some history dating back all the way to when I was 15, 16 as a teenager at Kakudo Submission Only back in Atlanta. It was a local submission only tournament, and I was a blue belt. That was my first time getting to face Tubby, and she was a brown belt. And then it was my first time getting to face a high-level competitor, anybody of that like higher echelon and stuff, and it was very humbling. I got my ass beat a lot of times getting to face her, but it was an amazing opportunity, and I think it was like what a lot of teenagers and younger athletes need to see where they're at. It's a good like sign and like see your like where you're at, status, and things to look forward to. So since then, like that Nogi Worlds in December 2022 was our first matchup where I was an adult. I was more nervous than usual just because of our history. I mean, I never beat Tubby. She would always end up subbing me via toe hold or any kind of submission. So I was very wary of the match, and I think a little too cautious. I did get the advantage win, but I felt like I wasn't able to showcase my level, my capabilities, and how much I've progressed since then. So on Thursday, I plan to bring a whole different side of that, and that I think she's for her to see how much I've progressed. So I'm super excited for this.
Nice. So we're going to have a bit more of an open game from you tomorrow, is what we're saying, rather than the
Exactly.
advantage win.
Yes.
Nice.
Expect to see us. I mean, Tubby's never been one to hold back. She's always going for the kill. So when both athletes are ready to go for it and all out, there's always going to be something that happens, and expect to look for the finish.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about the Who's Number One rules that we like so much, right? You can't really play an advantage game with our rule set, right? So it'll be really exciting to see both of you guys go at it. So, Tubby, tell me a little bit about, so I didn't even know the previous history from before. So you have all the wins, and then she comes in an adult, ekes out an advantage win last year. So what are your hopes for tomorrow?
The game plan is always the same, man. I'm sticking to the plan. It's always going for the finish, putting on a show. And before you guys think how old I am, all right, when I fought her, she was a kid. I was 20, though, right? So I wasn't like 27 or anything. 28 right now. But no, we do have some back history. And for sure, throughout the year, she's progressed. This last year, she's had a great breakthrough. But for the December Worlds, it was like a stalemate. I mean, there wasn't really much action from either one of us. She was stopping my bottom game. I was trying to, impose my game on her, but she was kind of already hip to it. So I've made a lot of changes since then. So I'm not living in that era right there. So just expect to see a whole different game, man. I mean, like she said, when you're both going for the kill, you're just going to expect fireworks. And for me, I'm ready for a 15-minute match nonstop. That's how I roll. So let's get it.
Let's get it. And I'm super excited. You guys, like I said, are the women's match on the card tomorrow. Obviously, I'm a big fan of both of you guys. What would you like to see on Who's Number One in the future for either both of you guys? I mean, this division has so many incredible athletes. And so what are you looking forward to in the future?
I was wondering to see if either Saint Marie or Fionn are planning to stay at 125 or not. Just like what Jacob Couch said earlier. Anybody who stays in this like full time, your plan is to be number one. I wouldn't understand why you stay in this sport trying to make a living.
Who's number two?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, my goal is to, of course, keep fighting those matches, win, and get the opportunity to fight for the strap. So that's the goal.
I like it. And tell me, we saw you in the Who's Number One championships not too long ago, and you had some good matches on there. That was an incredible division of women in your category, and then you've had some great matches since then. So you're a longtime veteran on these stages. Who can we expect to see you against? Who would you like to get maybe a match back with, or what are your goals there?
So for sure, future-wise, as far as Who's Number One, to see more female matches on the card would be great. But I have Napoleon syndrome, man, so I'm willing to fight whoever. Like, to me, it's like you could put me in front of a 145-pound girl, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, we're the same size. It's cool. Let's do this. So honestly, whoever's open wants a match with me, I will never say no to a match. I don't care if I have one limb, one leg, broken arm. I'm always willing to go out there on my shield. So whoever wants it, they can get it.
Awesome. We love to see it. We're excited for tomorrow. Thanks, guys. What's up, guys? We're here with our co-main event, so second to last match of tomorrow evening, and we have none other than Elder Cruz to my right, Rafael Lovato to my left, and I'm so excited about this match, obviously because it's an incredible matchup, but also because we have Lovato in the house. We're in Oklahoma City, his home. We're going to have his athletes on the card tomorrow. We're going to have his students in the house tomorrow, so we've been wanting to bring a huge show like this to Oklahoma for a while. Talk us through what it feels like to be here, co-maining the event, and to have everybody in town with you.
Yeah, it feels amazing. This is just a lot of years in the making. This is actually my 30-year anniversary of when my father started our academy. Wow. So 30 years ago, the dream was put to fruition, and it's been a lot of work to build black belts here, build world-class jiu-jitsu here in Oklahoma. I've literally traveled for everything my whole life, and so I think this is only like the second time since I was a little kid that I'll get to compete in my hometown in front of my students and my team and everything. So it really means a lot to me. This is also the 20-year anniversary of the first time I competed professionally. So I've been in the game a long time, and I feel like we are very deserving of this. And at the same time, I know the crowd's going to be amazing. I'm going to have tons of students in there, and at the end of the night, I hope that flows like, man, there's no way we can't come back here again in the future, and we're definitely going to put on a show.
Awesome. And you just got back from a big win at Brazilian Nationals in the gi. So we know that you're a legend, champion in MMA, gi, no gi, but you were just in Brazilian Nationals in the gi, coming tomorrow in no gi, and then I know there's a Worlds camp going on too at your school. So talk us a little bit about what we can expect tomorrow in this no gi match.
Yeah, the Brazilian Nationals was kind of like a last-minute decision. I've definitely been training more no-gi throughout this year, especially with my guys on the card, Troy and Coach Heff. Been wrestling a lot, going to OU, and just trying to get better all the time. But when I get that little bit of inspiration, it's hard for me to turn it off. And I got the inspiration to go back to Brazil, compete again at the Brasileiro, and it went well. And it just was nice for me to get some scraps in, get some great energy from Brazil to bring home to finish out this camp. And tomorrow we'll flip the switch to scrappling mode. And El Monstro loves to scrap, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's right, and that brings me to an important question. So, Elder, we've seen you fight taller opponents a lot. We know you have a great top game, a good wrestling game. We've seen you against opponents like Nikki Rod, and I'm curious about your style going into tomorrow with someone who has such a big, tall frame. Obviously, you're no stranger to that, but what are your thoughts on your style tomorrow going in with that kind of wrestling mix-up?
I mean, taller guys, I feel like they can't stay in a stance for too long. So I feel like if he stands up too high and comes in, he's gonna get blasted. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I've been training a lot and like working through those scenarios, so I'm pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the submission only rule set? You've done well IBJJF and submission only, but this is definitely such a high caliber competitor. So what can we expect from you tomorrow other than just the wrestling?
Well, I feel like one of the things that I need to work on is my submission rate. Like I always, win, like decisions and stuff like that. But I definitely have been working a lot to improve my submission game. So that's the plan. I plan on coming to submit. I know he's gonna have like a big crowd and it's gonna be in his favor, but the crowd's not gonna fight the fight for him. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be in front of him. You know what I mean? It's gonna be me and him.
Nice. And Lovato, when you're thinking about having your guys on the card, right? So you got your wrestling coach and one of your newer black belts on the prelims of the match or of the event. Are you going to be coaching, or how is the night going to be for you? It's obviously great to have them on the card, but what's that going to look like for you in preparation?
Yeah, I'll definitely be in their corner. We're going to be there for each other. I'm doing the meet and greet before the event starts, so as soon as that's done, I just walk in, put my coaching hat on, go out there, lead these guys to victory. And get that energy from them to then refocus on my mission. But this is it. This is a team affair. My whole academy, everyone's going to be there, and have people traveling to be there. Shanji I think Shanji just landed right now. So, you know, this is a special time. The Six Blades team, my team, were so heavily represented here in this area of the country, down through Texas and the whole South. So we're going to have a full house, and inspiration level is going to be at 1,000. And I'm just excited to do what I love to do and what I was made to do.
And last question for you too, Rafael, is we saw you have a big retiring from big adult competition as far as brackets and ADCC and things like that. But the fans, I know, are wondering, are we going to get to see you still on cards like this? What is in store for you? What can we look forward to?
Yeah, I'm not doing so good at that retirement thing. I was definitely, I'm not doing another Worlds. That's for sure. You're not going to see me at the Worlds in a couple weeks. I'll be there coaching, but you know, the professional stuff, definitely still interested. I'm open. People can send me offers, but I see myself transitioning more to the master side of things. But I will be competing until they put me in the grave, 100%, especially now with my kids. I want them to see their dad competing, and hopefully one day we can do some tournaments together, and I'll be like Master 6 by then or something. But keep sending the offers. But when Ricardo hit me up, said who's number one was coming to Oklahoma City, there was no way I wasn't going to be on the card. And I'm super grateful. You know, I'm grateful to still be here, to still be battling all these new generation of guys. You know, I had a match with his sensei like over 10 years ago, and I'm kind of in that situation now where the guys I came up with, you know, the legends of my era, I'm now facing their black belts, you know, and so it's beautiful. Like I said, I'm not doing very good at this retirement thing, but as long as I feel good and I'm getting all these guys ready, you know, and I got Hef hitting me with the earth every day, I'm not going to let him just do that for nothing. I got to get out there and have some fun too.
Well, we're certainly not mad about it. We're happy you're here. So we can't wait for this match tomorrow, guys. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
All right, we are back with none other than our main event. Not only an incredible match, but also a match in the gi. So our only gi match on the card. Super excited to have Pedro Marinho here to my left, Nicholas Meregali to my right. This is an open weight gi match here at Who's Number One. Pedro, you had a call out for Nicholas Meregali when you were in a no gi match. What were you thinking when you were offered this gi match? Is the rule set what you hoped for? Tell us a little bit about that.
When I was offered the match, you know, I thought it was no gi first, but kinda was too close with the date, so I expect maybe, you know, gi. Once they offer me gi, I accept right away. As I said before, I don't see nobody there that can bring me some rewards like Nicholas can bring me. You know, beating him is a huge thing, so I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. And Nicholas, too, I wanted to ask, like, specifically gi or no gi, did you have a strong preference going into this match, or was this what you were hoping for?
You mean about the style, gi or no gi?
Yes.
Of course, gi.
Making the gi great again, right?
Yeah, so that is one of my plans, of course, but also when I'm competing the gi, I cannot see nobody even close to my level, so it's pretty much hangout time for me, vacation time. And having this gi match back to Who's Number One, something very important for the industry. And Pedro is he owned my respect when he accepted the match because we were having problems to find an opponent. 6, 7, 8 guys decline offer because they have some big tournament coming up. But if you are doing a sport and the best in the sport invite you to have a match, like, hey man, I want to fight you. No, I can't. I have a big deal coming up. No, bro, you don't. So in any other sport, boxing, MMA, any other area, if the best guy in the game invite you to compete, you have to take it. That is your shot. And Pedro made it, so he owned my respect, and it is what it is. So if you guys want to compete in the gi, who's number one is the stage. We are trying to make things professional again, and I'm very happy and proud for being part of this gi action back to who's number one.
And when you say you're bringing the gi back to being professional, or do you mean that you want the matches to be more exciting? Is it about the prep for the competition? I mean, what do you mean by that? What do you think that you bring that's so unique?
It's about the system. Like, we are doing professional matches here. So I'm bringing how much I worth, Pedro the same, and other athletes. So we can kind of figure what the athlete can bring to the organization, and then we can make the sport grow. Tournaments, when we have a bracket with third guys, it's impossible. It's literally impossible. You understand the work the athlete is doing day by day on media, on branding, on any aspect of the business. So professional athletes, they have to fight in professional events. Tournaments, it's cool, but it doesn't build the sport anymore. So we had some huge support from other organizations building that style of tournament events, but right now it's time to change the gi jiu-jitsu and also no gi. It's like kind of pushing the line through, so we can make the sport professional right now by having this chance in the gi at who's number one. Other organizations are also knocking the door to bring the gi back to their platform. So it's time to change. And if you want to be a professional athlete, you have to act like a professional athlete. Do media, fight well, work to get submissions and also interviews, media stuff, Instagram, whatever. You have to do your job. Otherwise, you can show up in local tournaments, fight brackets, and have no sense where your brand is inside the business. So if you want to have the jiu-jitsu as a professional sport, we have to work together to build something special, not like just competing tournaments in organizations, because I don't want to say any name, tournaments in random organizations and then see what happens. So if you want to make gi professional, we have to have support from athletes. The business side, FloGrappling, any other organization, they're doing well, but right now it's the part of the job is from athletes. We have to build something special.
And what do you think the main issue is with the athletes who are not doing it, as far as they're not bringing authenticity to the brand, or they're just not working hard enough, they're boring to watch? I mean, what is it exactly, or all of the above?
It's hard to judge authenticity, so because it's hard to understand pretty much who the person is, but definitely one aspect that is really could be a game changer inside the industry is the way athletes brand themselves and do marketing. So I made easily 100 posts since I got my contract from FloGrappling, easily 100 posts. So if you see other athletes competing worlds, for example, they're showing up in 2 weeks, they made 2 posts. The week's is starting. I wish you guys a great week. No, it's not the way of doing marketing. You have to fucking post things about the event you are going to compete and then promote if you want to take money from the organization, because it has to be 2 ways, go and go back. So I think things has to change, but everybody who is here, for example, the athletes that we have on this card, they're doing a great job. And if we are making money from this event today, we're gonna have more opportunities to make money in the future as well. And can be no gi, can be gi, but it's just like a work that athletes have to understand as soon as possible if we wanna live a great life.
Thank you. So, Pedro, that was a lot. I want to ask you a little bit about your approach here coming in. When you think about the professionalism of jiu-jitsu, you have had an incredible run in the no-gi and who's number one, and then obviously gi and no-gi off the mat, or off the who's number one mats in different organizations as well. What are you looking for with this match as far as stamping this onto your resume, and what do you think that would mean to you to get this win?
Man, as you said before, I have been fighting so long, right, on these professional events. Maybe 5 years ago, on the first Kazai, as a purple belt, I started already, fighting on main event. So I have been seeing the growing, right? So I'm really excited to who's number one. I feel nowadays is the biggest stage out there, right? Like the no-gi scene is all here in America, and they have been pushing a lot this part. And see, they look for the gi as well, and putting together, as they have been doing before, like events with IBJJF, right? So I feel that that's the way, little by little, they will be able to professionalize the sport and make better opportunities for us, As Nicholas said, it's if you don't do well with your brand, right, these things hard to live just from fighting, right? At least I teaching, I keep doing all the things that nowadays we're not able to be just as an athlete, right? To live well from jiu-jitsu just as an athlete. So I feel like the way it's going good. We need to step it up and show it. Tomorrow night, is a good opportunity to do that. We step it up and put a show.
And you were the one who asked for this match, too. So I want to know what you're thinking. Obviously, you asked for the match, you requested it, you were open to gi and no gi. The match is in the gi. What do you think tomorrow is going to look like? Nicholas had said that it's going to be playtime for him, right, as a vacation. So what are you looking to do in the match to make it go your way?
Man, I feel like, all he's saying, all he's putting, the pressure on him, he's, like I say, he has the facts on his side, he has the numbers. I can't say that much, I can say, I'm going to do this and that, as he has the facts. But tomorrow, like I say, I have been looking for the rewards. Beat Nicholas is a big thing. He's the #1 guy in the world, so there's nobody else that I want to beat more than him.
And lastly, Meregali, I want to ask you about your game plan for tomorrow. You said vacation, you said playtime. Is there anything in particular that we are looking to see, or are you going to let him dictate where the match goes, or what can we expect?
Of course, I'm just like making jokes, not going to be a vacation. But I have a few things that I want to work on this match because when we fought Pans, we didn't have much time to work on my gi game. It was 2.5 weeks. So ironically, we have 2.5 weeks for this match as well. And we got to improve a few things, like small details on my gi game that I want to showcase tomorrow and make the match super exciting because the rule set helps me a lot, to literally display jiu-jitsu, because when you have a rule sets where points are involved, you can kind of create strategies to win, get your medal and your title, but just stall and score 2 points in the beginning and life is great. You're the champion. But no, so we have a rule set right now that we have to literally exchange jiu-jitsu if you want to prove that you are the best on the stage. So I think Pedro is ready for that. I'm ready for that as well. And again, so I respect this guy. He was the only guy on the planet who took this shot, and he deserves my respect. And this is why I'm not talking shit at all. I didn't talk. He knows that. So I didn't make one single post about him or anything.
I was expecting more from Meregali.
I was super friendly and whatever, because that is the way I'm respecting him. So he deserves that, and let's see tomorrow what he's gonna do. You guys will enjoy the show 100%.
Awesome. Well, I'm super excited to see our gi match tomorrow, especially between you guys. It's going to be an amazing event. So make sure, not only for this match, but for everything on our card, you guys tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central. The first 2 matches are going to be free, and then we will get to the main card.
Tomorrow night, Marinho vs Meregali, only on FloGrappling. Let's go. It's porrada time.
Let's go. Thanks, guys.